We're back to the Neil Haley Show and the Media Giant Effect, and also the Love Is podcast. I'm excited to welcome first my host of the podcast, Kim Sorrell. Kim, how are you? And I know you're excited about our guest. I can't believe now I live in Texas now, and I'm very close to Fort Worth, and I'm understanding, the whole Texas thing being here for about a year, but I'm excited about our guest, Kim.
Yeah, I am too, Neil. I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Yeah, Cyndi, what an incredible story. The things that you have lived through, and I always admire when people take a tough circumstance and turn it into something incredibly wonderful. And so I can't wait to hear more about that, what the beginning of your process was and how it is for you.
You want me to start?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we'll just jump into the story, because Cyndi, it's just an amazing story that's led to a film. And just to know, as I was reading about it, I was like, wow, it's something that we all go through, these challenges and trials, but this was such a big trial, but it's so great that it's being told to more and more people than just the story that you had to go through.
Right. Yes. So we'll just jump right into it. In 2004, my husband, he suffered from paranoid schizophrenia, and he was on medications, and he was taking his medications regularly, and he just stopped taking his medications, thinking that he was better. And he was working actually in downtown Fort Worth. He was a construction engineer, and he would just disappear. I mean, for days, weeks. And it was so Philip and I actually would go out to Fort Worth, where he worked, and would go looking for him. And it's not 2 blocks away is the homeless district, so we started looking there. So Philip was introduced to a world that he had never, ever seen before, nor myself. I hadn't seen that. And it was kind of like, oh, wow. And so one night after we had been searching, I was tucking my son into bed. He was all of tender age of 5.5. And he looked at me and he says, "Mommy, are you warm?" And I said, "Yeah, baby, I'm warm." And he says, "Do you think my daddy's warm?" Wow. Yeah. And I had to answer that. I said, "Well, I sure hope he is." And he goes, "Well, what about all those other people, Mommy? What about all those people that are out there that are living in those tents? And what about them, Mommy? Are they warm?" And kind of took me back. And it took me a few minutes to answer his question. And I just told him, basically, "No, baby, they're not warm." And he said, "Well, we need to get lots and lots of blankets so we can warm them all up." And I just kind of shrugged it off. "Okay, sweetie, we will." But this child did not stop. He woke up the next morning, got his piggy bank with $7.20 in it, brought it to me, and he said, "Go buy blankets." And I'm thinking to myself, go buy blankets with $7.20? Okay, I got to make something happen, and I got to make it happen quick, because he wouldn't stop. He's like, "Mommy, they have to have blankets." And it was December, and it was getting cold, and his birthday was on Christmas Eve. And so he said, "For my birthday, I want 5,000 blankets. I want to collect 5,000 blankets, and we're going to go warm everybody up." So I thought, oh my, I don't know how I'm going to do this. How I'm going to pull this off. So I typed a long letter, and I went down to downtown Fort Worth, and I literally stood on the street corner, and I handed it to everybody that walked by. And I'm an extremely shy person. Well, back then I was. I'm not so much now. And I would hand that letter to everybody. I mean, take this, take this, take this, take this, take this, take this. And it landed in the hands of a reporter. And he called me up and he said, "We'd like to do an interview." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fantastic. I would love to do this." So Philip and I went to the studio. It was in Fort Worth. And Philip did most of the talking. And they asked him about his daddy And they asked him how many blankets he wanted to collect. And he said, 5,000 blankets. He says, Mommy says they need 5,000 blankets, was his exact words. And it just blew up from there. Just blew up. We were getting interviews with all kinds of news channels and newspapers, and I was hitting it hard. I was hitting the streets hard. I'm telling you, it was incredible. I mean, I was working 2 jobs, and I was going to real estate school at the same time. And I didn't really want to be a realtor, but I thought, if I could sell one house, just one house, we'll get our lives back, because we lost everything. We lost our home, we lost our cars, we moved to mom. So I met with a gentleman after I passed my real estate test. I met with a gentleman named Mike Bowman with Century 21 in Grapevine, Texas. And they interview you, they talk to you. And I looked at him, I said, Mr. Bowman, I really don't want to be a realtor. And he goes, well, what is it you want to do? And I said, my passion is to help the homeless and the mentally ill. And he said, okay, I will help you with that. And I'm like, whoa. So he was our first sponsor that jumped on board. And this man, he went to every home builder, every mortgage company, and we collected our first 5,000 blankets.
Wow. Wow. That's absolutely incredible. I love that story. And it would have been so easy for you to do nothing, right? I mean, your son's 5.5. It would have been easy to go, oh, honey, that's a nice, that's sweet. That's nice. But you didn't. You went after it.
Well, I did wallow in my depression for a while, but he brought that depression out of me and gave me purpose to live a purpose-driven life, is the way because that book, that was a gift somebody gave me. And so I started reading it. I mean, like daily. Oh, wow. And the more I read that book, the more action that I took. And it was just like incredible. My whole spirit changed. And, I wanted to walk like Jesus walked. I wanted to be like Jesus. I wanted to help people the way he helped people. I wanted to love on the people that he loved on, and it just, I've been doing it for 20 years.
See, the powerful part of this is once you figured out your purpose and mission, it changed who you are as a person, changed your life in so many ways. Definitely. But you had to hit rock bottom to figure that out, right?
Oh, yeah. And rock bottom was hard. I mean, when you lose everything, basically it felt like I was losing my life, literally. And then my son brought me back to life, and it was like, okay, I know what God wants me to do. I know exactly what he's been whispering this in my ear for years. And so I finally started listening and moved to action. I mean, we have a food bank, and I work strictly out of my home doing this. God bless you, Mike Bowman. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to. But I have a food bank in my garage that we started 9 years ago. And it's just for the community, for people in our community that do have homes, but it's either pay the bills or not buy groceries.
Oh my goodness.
Does that make sense?
Totally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So we feed the community, and we keep it stocked constantly. I'm always begging, and it's like, don't bring me out of dates, and I'm just begging all the time. It's like, but it's a good kind of begging.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's amazing. So you've taken this circumstance, obviously, and just made gold out of it when it could have just kept you down and kept your son down. And it's so remarkable. I mean, I think your story is a story that obviously everybody needs to hear because of the inspiration that you give, because you are anybody, right? Like
Right.
anybody could take their bad circumstance and changing it into something good.
Good. Yeah, they definitely can. And it's like there are people that are living in this country right now that are going through exactly what our family went through, but they're afraid to even talk about it because there's such a stereotype on the mentally ill, the homeless, somebody being homeless. They're stereotyped, which breaks my heart because it's like people are afraid, and it's like there's nothing to be afraid of. These people are human beings, and if you sit down and talk to them, this is a crazy thing. Somebody asked me, well, how do we know what they need? And I said, well, the first thing you do is you sit down with them and listen. If you listen and connect with that person, you're going to know exactly what they need.
Yeah.
May it be food, may it be a comforting blanket, sleeping bag, whatever. But I think more than that, they need that human contact, that human compassion and love, because it's very isolating out there for these people. They feel unseen, and it's extremely sad because people will walk by them and not even look them in the eye, and it's just like they're human beings, for the love of Jesus. This is what Jesus wanted. He wanted us to be the people that go out there. He chose us, all of us. He chose us all for a specific purpose.
Yes. So how did you end up getting your story made into a movie? What did you,
Oh,
how was that process? Tell us that.
well, there was a screenwriter he saw it on TV, and he called me up, literally called me up, and I answered the phone, and he said, hey, my name is Larry Postel. I would love to write a screenplay about your story. And I'm like, okay, whatever, that sounds good. So we met up, and he interviewed me for months. I'm talking months. And here we are.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
great. We are running out of time. We have to take a break, but everyone definitely, Kim, you need Cyndi. Kim's going to send you a copy of her book to you, Love Is, and we appreciate getting the opportunity because she wrote a book about love and all these things. And I know you guys need to connect more. You guys are both transforming society through love, and I appreciate both of you coming on. And again, everyone needs to check out the movie. It's going to be available on December 12th. Is that correct?
12th and 13th, you can go to fathomevents.com. You can actually put in your zip code and buy tickets all over the United States. And you can go to our website as well. And it's right on our website as well. You can click on it, and it will take you straight to the 5,000 Blankets trailer, how to buy tickets, put in your zip code. You can purchase tickets through our website. You can donate monetarily through our website if you feel the need.
We appreciate it. Well,
Yeah,
thanks. I appreciate it, Cyndi. Appreciate it. Okay, take care. You're listening and watching the Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.